Good evening. This is Daily Recall on June 29th, 2026. June 29th. Canada Day's coming up. And in July, just started the heat wave in southwestern Ontario. Hot today. It's going to be hot for the whole week, which is, good. We haven't had any good weather up till now, so just try and stay cool. I was at the beach yesterday. It was all right. No guys, no African guys jerking off. Just like last week we saw the video. There was one guy there though, taking pictures or something, but so far my private little beach hasn't been destroyed yet. But yeah, we're in the dog days of summer, so not a lot of political news. They like to take the summer off. Couple things I saw, being Canada Day. We had Mark Carney talking about Canada because, he's the Prime Minister. And no, he's just as bad or as worse than Trudeau because, Trudeau said Canada was this post-national state. And basically, everything that happened before doesn't matter. Canada's a post-national state, so it means starting fresh with all the new people that we brought in. And that kind of is the way they ran Canada for the 10 years. It's like everything before didn't matter. And Carney isn't much different because instead of saying how, pro-Canada or whatever, talking about Canadian history or whatever, he talked about Canada like it was a mosaic, basically. It's the same as post-national state. It's basically saying it's not a country, it's just made up of little pieces of this and little pieces of that. So basically a bunch of different ethnicities living in the same geographic area. And he called it a mosaic, but a mosaic is not a way to run a country. Yugoslavia was a mosaic, and look what happened there. So yeah, that's what we have to deal with from our leaders. And then, of course, the Gay Pride Parade in Toronto. Lots of funny pictures from that. There's more pride in gay pride than there is in actual Canada. Like literally, they're showing more pride, like Doug Ford and all the progressive conservatives, and then the federal liberals. They're showing more pride in gay sex than they are in Canadian history. So yeah, that's the way it is in Canada. So let's just see what's going on. Like I said, there's not a lot going on. Just try and enjoy the summer. That's what I'm trying to do. So let's just look at some of this stuff. Summertime. Okay, here we go. Wiretap Media. Absolute child abuse. 2 adult men brought their underage daughter to Toronto Pride so she could experience sexual debauchery. The government uses online child sexual exploitation as justification for nationwide censorship. Yet the same sexual deviancy at Pride is fine because it's rebranded as a festival. Let's see what this.
Oh my gosh, you was having more fun than Phil right now, except for us.
Yeah.
Except for us. Canada won, we won, Pride is today.
Exactly.
Gee, it doesn't get much better than this.
No, and we've been meeting people from all over the world that have come to celebrate Pride here in Toronto. We've got this amazing group.
Getting it in the ass.
Hi, what's your name?
I am G.
Like G.
I like it.
And this is our
I'm May.
Oh, God.
And I'm Robert.
So is this your first time coming here?
So it's her first time participating in the parade. We have done a few times, and this year we usually walk with the parade, but this year we stood back and we brought her so she can have the experience too.
So I have to come in here. I need to get your immediate reaction to today. How was it?
Awesome.
Oh my gosh, it was shocking. I don't actually know how to describe anything. It was honestly amazing.
She's
Oh,
always supported
God.
us, her dads. So it means a lot to actually have her here and get to see this parade.
You know what? You can feel the joy.
Yeah, feel the
And I feel like
joy.
this is the greatest example of being able to just show up and have so much fun. I saw lots of kids along the parade
Oh.
route. I mean, what's a message you want to share to other kids when it comes to just celebrating love and community and connection?
I just want to say not everything's black and white, and that all together we can make a bunch of different colors from a bunch of different backgrounds and
Oh,
a bunch
God.
of different places and a bunch of different relationships and a bunch of different waves, and that we're all amazing and different, and that's what makes us special. That's what makes us human.
And that's on period.
I can't think of a better way to wrap up our Pride coverage than with that answer from young May.
See, that's what they're teaching in our schools. Exactly. She's basically reciting the class curriculum. Oh, my God. Yeah, they want to protect kids under 16 from social media, but they expose them to this. They want them to hate their country. They want them to hate their color if they're white. But this pride stuff, it's the best stuff. Like, it's you can't say anything bad about that. And the media, look at the media, the way they're just cheerleading it. It's just... But when you advocate for Canada, or Canadian history, or Canadian culture, or Canadian, you know, you're a white nationalist, far right nationalist. Look at these commies. All right. Very degenerate lifestyle. They don't tell you about that you have to wear diapers because you took it in the ass so much. They don't mention that part. Okay. Next. Here's the multiculturalism. So basically the mosaic comment. A lot of people reacted to that. And it's kind of like I said, it's the same when Trudeau said we're a post-national state. It's the same idea. Mosaic, post-national state. Okay. Multiculturalism is an invasion policy. Max Ginest, let's see.
The melting pot is the idea. This is deplorable coming from Prime Minister Mark Carney. He says, quote, Canada is a mosaic, not a melting pot. A mosaic doesn't dissolve its pieces. The beauty is in the arrangement, not the blending.
Yeah.
So Prime Minister Mark Carney is saying the mosaic is better than the melting pot. That's not even true. That makes no sense. Why? They're essentially both synonymous because they both lead to the very same thing, which is invasion, ethnic cleansing, all in the name of multiculturalism. Let me explain. The melting pot is the idea when you're an immigrant and you arrive to America, you always put the American flag first while holding on to your culture. The only reason why the Canadian version is a little bit different on paper and has a different name is because of anti-American sentiments by liberal Canadians. That's the difference, because Canadians have to be better than Americans. We have to be more inclusive. We have to be more diverse. It's just retardation fuel. That's genuinely what that is. Look at America. Look what's going on in Frisco, Texas. Indians have invaded. Fremont, California, Indians have invaded. Minneapolis, Minnesota, Somalis have invaded. Dearborn, Michigan, Arabs have invaded. Lakewood, New Jersey, Hasidic Jews have invaded. Go look at the demographics of New York City. 2/3, 66% of the population are either first or second generation immigrants. That is what's happening to America. They're being invaded. Their people are being replaced. Now in Canada, we are experiencing the same fate. However, it is more extreme, it is more radical.
Yeah.
We are getting it harsher simply because America is bigger in population while we are smaller. So look at Brampton, Ontario. Look at Surrey, British Columbia. It's bad. In fact, all of our major cities in Canada, we have been invaded. I live in Winnipeg, for example. I can't leave my house without being the minority in my own home. This is
I can't even leave my driveway.
Multiculturalism does. It is invasion. It is ethnic cleansing. There's no other way to put it. What do? We reverse it with remigration. That's the only answer.
All right.
I'm black, and I understand this primarily.
All right. Yeah, it's like, it makes no sense. Mosaic. Canada is a mosaic. So basically, they're setting up all these different ethnic communities. They all hate each other. They all want something out of Canada. They don't want to contribute to Canada. That's a mosaic. Multiculturalism. It was good multiculturalism when it was just European countries. You know, you had the British and the French as the main ones, and then the multicultural from the other European countries to add on. But that's as far as multicultural as it should go. Jeez. Hopefully, we had the Indians across at the corner. I think they moved out this week. I saw a moving truck there, and now I don't see them anymore. So that would be I'm not getting my hopes up. But yeah, my street's becoming a mosaic. Slowly. I don't like it. All right, speaking of the mosaic, Brampton. Indians in Brampton continue the practice of dumping items from Hindu rituals into our waterways despite widespread social media condemnation and designated locations where it's cleaned up afterwards. Yeah, pretty soon our river's going to look like India. There's a reason India looks, all the water, bodies of water are destroyed in India. Like, look at this. It's going to add up over the years. The more Indians that come, the more they do this. But it's not just the idols. It's actual garbage. They just like to litter. Because they think, I pay taxes. I can litter because somebody's going to clean it up. And it's like, yeah, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. All right. So there's Mark Carney at the Pride Parade. And he went to the Pride Parade in Toronto. Pierre didn't go to any Pride events. Which is interesting. He's such a phony because they're totally on board with the whole pride thing. He just wants to seem like he doesn't want to piss off his base anymore than he has with all the other stuff. But yeah, these guys went no problem. And look at him. I thought this was AI because this is our prime minister. And I guess he's getting Is there no sound on this?
I'm black, and I understand this primarily white movement.
But he's getting sprayed. They spray the people in the parade with water guns. But that seems like a security breach here. Like they could be spraying them with acid or poison. Look at them. Or some other bodily fluid. But yeah, this is our prime minister doing the devil horns. God. Worse than Trudeau. Canada's toast with people. These people running things. Totally toast. Okay. At least it's almost over Pride Month. Okay. So meanwhile, they're talking about pride and acceptance and everybody matters. But look at this car. This car belongs to a nationalist. Not even a violent nationalist, just a nationalist who doesn't want Canada to be invaded by third world hordes. And He got his car torched by the Antifa people. Here's a result of the call to action by radical far-left Antifa groups against me. The media and elected officials must now unanimously condemn the violence of the far left in Quebec. So this guy is a nationalist in Quebec, and they torched his car. But the point is in Canada, that's the group you're allowed to discriminate against, to exclude, to hate, is a Canadian nationalist. Literally, it's crazy. Oh, I lost my screen. It's crazy that's literally the only group you're allowed to oppress in Canada. Everybody else gets a free pass. And when Suckin' Sons does some rally or some demo, it's like the second coming of Hitler, It's ridiculous, but if someone attacks them, it's fine. There's no outrage or anything. CSIS's ideologically motivated violent extremism category is a political weapon aimed squarely at nationalists. Antifa's arson, assaults, and coordinated violence are routinely written off as property damage. The effect is simple. Peacefully opposing mass immigration makes you an extremist who deserves state monitoring. Firebombing an immigration protesters' cars just vandalism. The state has effectively declared war on Canada's national identity and on anyone still willing to defend it. So yeah, basically if you're a nationalist and you want, you're pro-Canada and you think policies should be designed to benefit the country and the people in the country instead of the rest of the world, you're a crazy extremist. But anybody else, Antifa, gay pride, Indians, Calistanis, Muslims, who's the other? Africans, they're all cool. But if you say, hang on, I'm a Canadian nationalist, then you're the enemy. It's crazy. And it reminds me of during the COVID when the unvaccinated were treated like that. The unvaccinated were treated a lot like the nationalists are treated today. Like garbage. I noticed that. And, people against the COVID measures were treated like the nationalists are today. Like total garbage in your own country. Like we were treated like garbage in our own country for the COVID. Now we're treated like garbage in our own country for the immigration. Speaking of traitors too, not just Mark Carney, but Doug Ford. He did this end of the school year video. Congratulations to all the students, teachers, and education workers across Ontario as we celebrate the end of another successful school year. Wishing everyone a safe, fun, and well-deserved summer break. I hate this guy.
Students on all your hard work this year.
Yeah, look at his video.
Education workers and staff for your commitment to leading the next generation.
Of course,
Wishing everyone a safe, fun, and well-deserved summer break.
But look, you notice he has 0 white kids.
To all the students on all your hard work.
Literally 0 white kids in this video.
To the teachers, education workers, and staff for your commitment to leading the next generation. Wishing everyone a safe,
I hate this guy.
fun.
So yeah, that's your Progressive Conservative Party in Ontario. Just as bad as the Liberals. Bob Bailey, our local MP, supports the gay stuff. I heard him on the radio all month saying how whoever doesn't support gay pride is a bigot. That's what our Progressive Conservative MPP is saying in Sarnia. He's saying if you don't support taking it in the ass, you're a you're a hater. Our MPP is saying that. And now we got Doug Ford. Yeah, and the schools are full of that gay, trans ideology. Doug Ford, because of Doug Ford. And also, he was bragging about bringing all these tons of people from all over the world to Ontario. He's like, look how many people want to come to Ontario. Yeah, of course they want to come to Ontario. They want to get all the free money. And in the schools, it's an issue. They're throwing all these kids in school that don't speak English, aren't from this culture, come from totally different culture. And they said to the teachers, okay, you got to deal with them. And a lot of the teachers in Toronto, a lot of the schools in Toronto are like, can't deal it. Because, even if you get 5 kids who don't speak English, that's a lot of resources just to deal with those 5 kids. And there's more than 5 kids. And it's even happening here in Sarnia. They're just dumping kids in from who knows where, heart of Africa. And okay, I don't know if I like my kids going, who knows what kind of stuff could happen, But yeah, Doug Ford helped flood Ontario with masses of third world migrants. Now he's making videos to show off the results. Yes. Anyway. Okay. Here's the next one. Retard finder. What the fuck? Retard chants were coming for your children during Pride Parade March in Toronto. Yeah, that's what they're yelling at the Pride Parade. We're coming for your children. They don't even hide it anymore. The whole movement has always been about normalizing pedophilia. Yes. Okay. There's Mark Carney's comment. Canada's mosaic, not a melting pot. A mosaic doesn't dissolve its pieces. The beauty is in the arrangement, not the blending. On this Canadian multicultural... I didn't even know that was a day. Canadian Multiculturalism Day. We celebrate the diverse communities whose contributions continue to build a strong and vibrant Canada. All right. So yeah, a lot of reaction to that. Another term for mosaic is multi-ethnic state. Our political leaders assume that everyone will set aside their cultural and religious differences in the pursuit of material success, embracing the idea that luxury equals freedom. History tells us, though, that the multi-ethnic states usually end up like Yugoslavia. Do you remember Yugoslavia? Yes. That's Yugoslavia. Multi-ethnic state didn't work. Yeah, we got big problems here when leaders think like this. Next, little Toronto news. We're talking about multi-ethnic. They named Young Dundas Square Sankofa Square after some African tribe. I don't know. And this guy, Bradford, is running for mayor, and he's I don't like him. He's woke. He helped change the name in the first place, but now he's running for mayor against Olivia Chow. So I don't know. Maybe the polling showing people don't like the name. I could have told you that, but he helped change the name. He didn't fight it when it needed to be fought. Say, hey, this shouldn't be done. Now he's doing it, but it should never have been named Sankofa Square. This is Canada, not Africa. And basically he's saying it's a shithole now. Like, the whole square's full of crazy people. And it is. Like, you go down to this, it's embarrassing. It's all insane people doing drugs and, I don't know, groping women. It's embarrassing if you go down there. It used to be like cool place to hang out, have a hot dog. Now it's anyway. Bradford says Sankofa Square was once the city's Times Square, a lively hub for festivals and nightlife. He now calls it a wasteland and proposes rename it Toronto Square while adding a police substation and year-round events to bring people back. Yeah, because like all it is dudes on scooters doing Uber deliveries and crazy people and drug addicts and homeless people. That's literally all it is. So it is like Africa, I guess. But it's funny because I actually commented once on his post, like when he first said he was running for mayor, that that should be one of his campaign things, is to change it back. And maybe he read it. I don't know. But yeah, horrible idea. Whoever thinks calling the main square of your city Sankofa Square, I don't know. Whoever thinks that's a good idea is Olivia Chow's destroyed Toronto. Like I was born in Toronto. I love Toronto. But we need to fix it. All right. So we said about the Conservatives, the PC Conservatives in Ontario are destroying Ontario. The federal Conservatives, they aren't doing anything, literally. In fact, they're trying to bring more lesbian LGBTQ refugees to Canada. That's how much they're doing. So even though Pierre didn't go to any pride parades, he's still doing his members, his party members are still doing this. Members of the Federal Conservative Party of Canada, including their lesbian deputy leader, Melissa Landsman, are raising money to import LGBTQ refugees who will come here and instantly align themselves with the far left. Also, so basically what they do, they're doing they took part in a fundraiser with this group. It's not a government group, but it's a group that helps settle refugees that are gay, lesbian, trans from like Africa or whatever shithole countries to come to Canada because of their sexual thing, and they're getting persecuted in their own countries. I was like, we got enough fruitcakes here, so why are we scouring the earth to bring more here? And because the people, especially the trans ones on all the drugs and who want to do the gender reassignment, they usually cost the healthcare system tons of money. And tons of money in like healthcare, mental health costs, all that. Oh, hold on one sec. Yeah, so they're basically a drain on the country, but let's bring them, even the ones we have, like our Canadian ones. Our Canadian grown fruitcakes cost money, like they go through all sorts of health through the health system. And not only that, we're encouraging them to come here. What you're also doing is you're encouraging like guys in Africa to say they're gay or they're trans so they can come get a ticket to Canada. Free ticket. Like all expenses paid. So it's just bizarre, man. Let's see what these guys are saying.
About the fundraiser we're doing for Rainbow Railroad in Muskoka, July 15th, on the 102 on Lake Muskoka. It's going to be beautiful. But it's not just me hosting it now. Guess who's going to be there as a co-host?
I thought you'd never ask. It's Melissa Landsman, Member of Parliament for Thornhill and Deputy Leader of Canada's Conservatives. I'm so excited to spend the night, or spend the afternoon for a great cause in Muskoka, helping persecuted members of the gay and lesbian community escape the places that they are from and find refuge. Rainbow Railroad's the organization that does that, and we can't wait to see you there.
See you there.
Yeah, so there's your Conservative Party of Canada. They ain't saving nothing. Okay. There's another one. Bradford pitches cleaning up, renaming Sankofa Square. He calls it dirty, unsafe. And Wiretap Media says mayoral candidate who voted in favor of renaming Yonge and Dundas Square to honor Third World Shithole and its people who occupy the area is shocked it turned into a Third World Shithole. There, I fixed it for you. Yeah, like he voted for it. Now he wants to change it. So I mean, give him a little credit for wanting to change it now, because you know he'll get attacked for that, saying he's a racist, and he'll probably apologize. But should never have. I would have, if I were a counselor when this whole debate was going on, I would have been shouting from the top of my lungs. But just a lot of cowards. There was probably a lot of cowards on the Toronto Council that didn't. I thought the name was horrible and a horrible idea, but they were too cowardly to say it. Now he's running for mayor, so he needs something to differentiate himself from horrible commie Olivia Chow. All right. There's Mark Carney again at Pride with some guys dressed up like whatever the hell this is, dogs. There's this is a thing in the gay community, the dog dressing up like dogs and doing I don't know what they do but they're meeting the prime minister. It's a free country. I think the guy in the dog suit is free to be a degenerate, but somehow our country has turned this into an obligation to celebrate his degeneracy and make it taboo to point out that it is in fact degeneracy. That's Nick Osmond Jones. Good point. If you don't celebrate degeneracy, you're evil. Look at that. He's going to town, Mark Carney. Maybe he is one of them. He loves it there. All right. Pride brings people together to celebrate love, diversity, and belonging. Yes. And we were talking about the COVID. This is in a country where everyone can live openly, safely, and proudly. This is how they treated us. The COVID people who thought all the COVID stuff was BS. This is how they treated us.
With a clear plan to deal with when leaders are faced with
I'm still pissed off about this.
Anxiety. We have a choice to make. Do we exploit that anxiety, or do we allay it? Because a fair and successful world is a peaceful one.
Oh, shit.
We believe we should confront anxiety with a clear plan to deal with its root causes. And we believe we should bring people together around shared purposes, because what is the alternative? To exploit anxiety? To turn it into fear and blame?
Yeah, that's what you did.
To reject others because they look or speak
or
pray differently than we do? Every single day, we need to choose hope over fear, diversity over division.
Yeah.
When leaders...
So yeah, the hypocrisy is off the charts, you know. So that's it. The hypocrisy is off the charts, like literally. See, that's what happens. You change a leader, nothing happens. You change a face, nothing happens. Change Trudeau to Carney, nothing happens. Even if you change Carney to Pierre, nothing's gonna happen. So we need a different Conservative Party or Nationalist Party. I know PPC, but we need something that's
to reject others because that's
gonna have like a mass appeal. That's it. All right. That's it for tonight. Like I said, not a lot of crazy stuff going on. It's going to be hot, though, this week. Our next broadcast will be tomorrow, June 30th, January. Canada Day Eve. Let's see what they say about Canada tomorrow. What they'll call it tomorrow. A mosaic gay country. So until tomorrow, have a nice night and stay cool.